Hello students, welcome you all to Manu Law Classes. This is Ratnakar sir, your quants and reasoning mentor, and in today's class we are going to discuss top 5 very important things that we should keep in mind before solving data interpretation or caselet based problem. As we have seen in past 2 years from CLAT 2020 and CLAT 2021, the CLAT pattern has been shifted from regular, or you can say traditional questions, to new pattern data interpretation or caselet based question, where in general a data or a table is given to you in the form of some chapter. Now that chapter can be percentages, can be profit and loss, can be from mensuration, and based on that paragraph, based on that table, you have to solve 4 to 5 questions that are aligned with it. This sort of problems we call data interpretation problems or caselet problems, and to actually be able to solve these problems you must have a very clear idea of how to approach and what to look in that particular problem. Okay, so let's proceed. See, the most common fear among the students is you can say data interpretation and caselet problems, they commonly say that they are not able to understand the problem. Now one reason is this topic is not in your school curriculum, isn't it? I mean, the topics like percentage, profit and loss, and ratio proportion you are familiar with, but data interpretation is something new which you get to know when you appear for CLAT entrance or other entrance examinations in which data interpretation or caselet based problems are asked. Okay, so there is nothing to fear about. It's just like a new chapter. Even it is not a new chapter, I would rather say it is just the application of what you have learned till now. Okay, in general data interpretation questions are so easy to solve because the actual thing is they actually judge a candidate's analytical skills. Okay, that how to arrange and how to interpret the given data which is given in form of paragraph or table. Okay, so first thing that you should remember before solving this type of problems is you must have a thorough understanding. You must have the thorough understanding of the subject matter, which is for our case say the chapter on which DI is based, and you must take utmost care in reading the data interpretation and arranging it in the way which is easily accessible to you when you go to solve problems. Okay, I will take one example to illustrate this. Okay, suppose a data is given in the form of bar chart. You must understand what is bar chart, how data are represented on bar chart, how data are represented on pie chart, line graphs, or in table format. You must be familiar with this. They are not rocket science, they are simple pure arithmetic. Okay, and to add to it, what many students I have seen, they directly start solving data interpretation questions without revising the chapters on which they are based. Say they have totally forgotten or they have totally stopped trying problems which earlier used to come traditional way, or you can say in earlier papers. Now that is not a good habit to do, because you can only develop a command over a chapter when you solve lot of problems on that, and ultimately you have to solve one liners, isn't it? So that is not a very good thing to avoid those problems. What I would rather suggest, at least solve 20 to 30 problems from each chapter, so that it sinks deep into your mind that what are the concepts and how the concepts are actually applied in this chapter. Okay, so moving to next point. Okay, now what you have to actually do whenever a caselet or a database interpretation problem is given to you, you have to underline. You can underline, or you can point, or you can make small notes about the essential points that actually matters in solving a caselet or DI based problem. Many a times we have seen, say for example in last year CLAT paper, if you see the last paragraph, was more than I think 500 words, but first 300 words were totally useless, isn't it? So that is what I am trying to stress, that you have to mark the important lines that actually contains the relevant data which we are going to solve, which we are going to use to solve the problems, and other things we have just totally ignored. Okay, say for example, if I want to represent this with an example, what I should do, see see what we can do. Okay, now I have actually erased all the junk that is given around it, and I am actually taking the core part. Now if I take this core part, how you can represent this data? Okay, say V, U and T are sitting in a circle facing center. Okay, A, B, S, C is also sitting in that circle, two of them facing opposite to the center. Okay, no issues. V is second to the left of C. Now rather seeing this line, what I can do this, okay, I can represent it in the form of some graphical format. Say V is second to the left of C. That means if C is sitting here, how to change the color actually? I must change the color. This color I am not going to like. Okay, see if V is sitting here, then what they are saying, V is sitting second to the left of C. So if C is sitting here, then V is second to the left. V is second to the left. This will happen if C is facing inside. If C is facing inside, rather if C is facing outside, if C is facing outside the center, outside towards the center, then we will be here, isn't it? Because then C's left hand side changes. Okay, so you can represent this line using this data. Also what they are saying, U is second to the right of A. Okay, so U is second to the right of A. So A is here, second right U will be sitting if U is facing towards the center, and if U is facing opposite to the center, then second case is also possible. Okay, but we have already given that V, U and T are sitting in a circle facing center, whereas for A, B, C we don't know. Now remember this thing, A left hand side U and U left hand side A, these are two different things. In the question they are saying, U is to the right of A. That means they are talking about A's right hand side. Okay, A is right hand side, U is second to the right of A. I think I have drawn the figure wrong. U is second to the right of A. It will be like this. If A is facing center, then U will be second to the right, and if A is facing outside or opposite to the center, then U will be sitting here. Okay, B is third to the left of T. Similarly, you can draw B is third to the left of T. So T is definitely facing center, and B is third, first, second, third. B is third to the left of T. Okay, see these graphical representations have made our work so easy. Now when I will go to solve the actual arrangement, I will just try to fit these columns rather than reading statements again and again, isn't it? And what they are saying, A and B are sitting adjacent to each other. Adjacent means इसको हम लोग हिंदी में बोलते हैं अगल बगल, isn't it? A and B are sitting adjacent to each other. Now this can also be a case, and this is also a valid case. Okay, but either this or this, दोनों में से कोई ना कोई एक follow करेगा. Adjacent मतलब अगल बगल. Okay, now see what we have to do. We have to sit these 6 papers in a circle in such a way such that these 4 conditions are satisfied. That's it. Okay, so we will keep this in mind. When we will actually solve problems. Now we will move to the third point. With all the information in your hand, you have to try to represent the data in graphical or tabular format. Okay, or represent the data in a pie chart, bar graph, table, depending upon the feasibility and the motive of the question. Okay, now this actually helps when the question is not given in Caselet format but in data interpretation format. Okay, you have to actually know how to represent data in a table, in a pie chart, in a bar graph, in a line graph, and how to interpret those data. That are very important, because in the examination hall nothing superhuman ability is going to come to you. Okay, you have to practice this at home rigorously before actually going to the actual exam. Okay, now fourth and the last point, you have to read the figures very closely. Okay, You can also use options and approximations to avoid tedious and lengthy calculations. If the question asks for relative values, there is no need to find accurate values. Okay, I have seen some students wasting time on that, and that is so pathetic. Say, for example, if I am to given say a certain question, suppose this calculation is given to you. Suppose this calculation is given to you. Okay, and various options are given. Whereas option A, B, C, D. Okay, so one option is given 30%, other option is given 35%, one option is given 42%, other option is given 29%. What I have actually seen students do this calculation like this way, that 700 divided by 19, this much percentage. Then they go on dividing 700 by 19 and try to solve the nearest possible answer. See, in this type of question they have already asked find the approximate or find the best answer, okay, or choose the best one. Okay, so what you can do, you can think it in some other manner. Okay, what you can do, instead of this 19, if I put here 20, then what will happen? It will cancel this on 5 table, and I will go 35% as a very good approximation, to the actual answer. And in the option is also I'm saying 35% or 36% or 34%. Then the answer is actually very near to 35%, isn't it? So I will take the nearest option in the to which I have approximated the value. Okay, so this also plays a very important role in time saving and actually attempting these data interpretation questions. Okay, now this I would also like to stress to watch our videos regularly for this type of thoughts process, and to join us, if possible book a demo session as per your choice at our given number and ensure your selection in upcoming CLAT exam. Thank you so much.